السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد. يا رب صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. Before we continue, yesterday we were trying to get that Sahabi radiallahu ta'ala's name who had seen Dajjal. So his name, somebody was kind enough to SMS it to us after the program. So his name was Hazrat Tamim Dari. Hazrat Tamim Dari radiallahu ta'ala. He was a Sahabi who saw Dajjal. Dajjal gave him Dawood to accept Islam. If Allah Pak wants, the Dawood of a Nabi won't be accepted. And the Dawood of Dajjal can be accepted. Because after he heard what Dajjal had to say, so then he knew that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a final Nabi. And now see how Allah Pak worked it. He was caught up in the storm in the ship. So they got washed to an island. And it's a long incident now, but he went and saw Dajjal there on that island. Dajjal was in chains, chained up there. So he saw Dajjal there. We mentioned this whole incident some time back. So khair, after that when he returns now to Medina Sharif, he goes to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam to accept Islam. And he narrates this whole incident to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam gathers the Sahaba radiallahu anhum in the masjid. And he says to them that listen to what your brother got to say. So he puts Tamim Dari radiallahu ta'ala and there in the front. He said, no, tell them this whole incident. Tell them what you saw, exactly what happened, how it happened. Describe to them everything. So he mentioned now in detail everything, the whole story. So after he finished, now he didn't know anything, Tamim Dari, he didn't know anything. So after he finished, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, didn't I tell you all this? So he replied, yes, you told us, you gave us already this whole story. So these were certain aspects of ghaib, certain aspects of ghaib, of unseen knowledge, which was given to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But then to infer from there that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam is alimul ghaib, then that is incorrect. The example that the ulama give, they say if a person has got red apples in one bowl, so if he says I got only red apples here in this bowl, so we will say yes, you got red apples in the bowl, but that doesn't mean you got all the red apples of the whole world in your bowl. You got some red apples in your bowl. So like that, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was given some aspects of ghaib, but he was not alimul ghaib, to say that he knew every aspect of the ghaib. That knowledge is only with Allah Ta'ala. Only Allah Ta'ala is alimul ghaib. So that is one thing. The other thing is, I think it was about 2 nights back or 3 nights back, we were talking about Abdul Muttalib's love for Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I had mixed up one incident there. I told you the incident of Abdul Muttalib slaughtering 100 camels. So that slaughtering of that 100 camels wasn't for Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was for Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam's father, Abdullah. What had actually happened there was that Abdul Muttalib, for some reason, he had made a pact that he will sacrifice one of his sons for the Rabbul Bayt, for the Rabb of the Kaaba Sharif. And when he drew the arrow, now I explained to you they should draw those arrows. So when he drew the arrow, so Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's father's name came out. That time he was still small, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's father, Abdullah, his name came out. From all the sons, his name came out. So Abdul Muttalib was left with no choice, but he didn't want to slaughter this son, because this was his most intelligent son, his best son. But now he had no choice. They used to believe in that divine arrows and all that. Now he had to carry this thing out, so he took his knife, his blade, whatever, and he's taking Hazrat Abdullah, and they are going now to Kaaba Sharif, and now all the Quraysh elders and the family all are coming with. So then this elders of the Quraysh, they told Abdul Muttalib, they say, no, you shouldn't slaughter this son. Don't sacrifice this son. What you do is, there is one lady. Now how we have all these sangomas and all that. So say, now there is one lady, she knows about this spiritual world and everything, so we call her and let her make some festa here. Because now on the one hand they believe now you can't go against those divine arrows. Now the yaqeen is on that. Now something bad will happen if you go against those divine arrows. On the other hand, now they don't want to sacrifice this son. So they say, no, we rather call her, she will sort the problem out. Sometimes ladies can sort problems out. Sometimes. So anyway, she came. So they asked her now what to do. So she said, see, you take Abdullah's name, put in the quiver, and in those days the blood money for killing a person was 10 camels. If you killed a person and that family is prepared to accept the blood money, then you pay 10 camels to that family. So you put one arrow with 10 camels and one arrow with Abdullah's name. So Abdul Muttalib, now they shuffled the arrows again. When he pulled out, again he pulled out Abdullah's name. So 10 times this thing carried on. Until only on the 10th time he drew the camels. But by now the camels were gone to 100. So then he had to slaughter 100 camels. So these 100 camels were slaughtered and they were left for anyone to take, for animals to eat, for anything. And it's like free for anyone and anything. And then from that day onwards, the fine for blood money was changed. Blood money became 100 camels. After that, if you kill someone, and now I'm not going into all the fiqh rule, but the penalty, if it was to pay the blood money, or if the family agreed to accept the blood money, so now the blood money was stipulated at 100 camels. And later on, when Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came, then Deen and Shariat confirmed that figure. And blood money is set at 100 camels. So even today, in an Islamic country, if a person is to commit a murder, and if the fine, now there's different types of murder and all that, I'm not going into all that, but if the fine for that particular type of murder is blood money, so then that fine is 100 camels. 100 camels, or the value of those camels. Person can pay either in cash or kind, but that's how you'll work out the value. In today's time, there's so many killings in our country and other places, and people are getting off with 2,000 and 3,000 rand bail and all that. Life has become cheap. Deen and Sharia came and gave value to life. So that was that incident about the 100 camels. It wasn't with Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it was with Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's father. When somebody was listening and they brought this to my attention with a lot of adab and respect. So the person knew that was a mistake. So the person asked a question, they send an email, asked a question, they say, Maulana, I'm only aware of something to the effect. I'm only aware of one incident, but this incident happened twice. I only know Abdul Muttalib only slaughtered the 100 camels for his son Abdullah. Did it happen twice? So khair, that was a mistake. It was with Abdullah, not with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. G. The next section here, coming back to the kitab. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam had herded sheep with his foster brothers. And later on also, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam herded sheep as a means of earning rozi. He herded sheep as a means of earning rozi. So some people, they have a problem with this. The word in the hadith comes qararit. That Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, what actually happened here was, Hazrat Jabir bin Abdullah radiyallahu ta'ala, and he says that we were with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam in a place called Zuhur, not namaz Zuhur, the place is called Zuhur. So here there were some berries, some people translate it as plums, Allah Pak knows best, some type of fruit that was there. So they went to pluck the fruit. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam told them that pluck the darker ones, the ones that are darker. So they were a bit surprised that how come Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam knows that the darker ones would be sweeter. So then Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam explained to them that I used to graze sheep. I used to graze sheep, and we used to be out in the mountain, in the meadows, in the fields, and we used to pluck this fruit. And from there now I got experience that the darker ones are sweeter, they are better. So then Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam explained that I grazed my family's sheep, and I used to graze sheep for certain other tribes, and I used to get paid qararit. For a few coins they used to pay us to graze their sheep. So some people, they say, no, a Nabi won't graze sheep for money and all that. There is no such a thing. It is an honor for a person to work and earn his rozi. For a person to work and earn his rozi, that is an honorable thing. A Nabi of Allah Ta'ala will never take remuneration for the khidmat of deen. For the khidmat of deen, he would never take remuneration. But to do business, to work and earn a wage, that many Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam, we will find that they did that. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, how he paid his meher? He paid his meher by working for his father-in-law, that was the meher. Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam, he was a slave there in the house of the Aziz Misr, so he had to do different chores, etc. And like that he would get his shelter, his clothing, his plate of food to eat. So there is, to earn a rozi, a person must never ever consider it below his dignity to go out and earn his rozi. No matter how menial that labor may be, but he is earning halal rizq. He must never ever feel that that is something low. This trip, one of the majlises there in Medina Sharif, so Hazrat started off the majlis and he was talking about Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullaha wa kunu ma'as sadiqin. That Allah Pak addresses the believers and says that you must join the company of the sadiqin. So Hazrat was explaining quite a few things, but I'm just going to come to this one point. So after that Hazrat mentioned, he said there's some time, now you see a person who got a dunyavi mind now, right? Person who got a worldly mind, Hazrat didn't say this, I'm just telling you. Person who got a worldly mind, when he looks at a businessman, and if the businessman is a person who is successful in his business, now you know he got a big business running and all that, so he will have a lot of regard for the businessman. They have a lot of regard for him because he's also in that dunyavi chakkar. He's also trying to get there, he didn't reach there still. So he will either reach there or die trying to reach there. So he would have a lot of respect for this businessman. On the other hand, you get people who are totally dini inclined. Totally dini inclined. So now if some person enters the masjid and somebody has to say that this is a Sheikhul Hadith. So immediately now they feel some respect for this person. Somebody has to enter, they say this is a Mufti Sahib. So immediately they will feel some respect for him. Somebody enters, they say this is the principal of certain Darul Uloom. So they feel some respect for him. But somebody enters, they say this is a businessman. So he's a businessman. He's done nothing to do with our life. No, he's a businessman. But what is dangerous is that sometimes hakarat comes in the heart. Oh, this fellow is just a businessman. He is just a businessman. Whereas Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned at-tajiru as-saduqul amin ma'an nabiyyin was-siddiqin was-shuhada. That the tajir, the businessman who is saduq, he is truthful and he is amin, he is trustworthy. He doesn't hide the faults of his goods. No underhand business carrying on. Everything is an open book. If there is a fault, there is a flaw, he will tell you. There is a problem with this. There was one brother, he's selling dates. Before Ramadan Sharif, he was selling some dates. So he had some dates there from some other country and all that. But he had some rutab dates. And the rutab dates never have no tag on it to say where it's coming from. So I asked him, I said, is this rutab from Medina Sharif? Because normally we don't ever get rutab from all these other countries. So he told me, most likely it's from Medina Sharif. I think it's from Medina Sharif. So I purchased the rutab. About an hour later he phoned me. He said, Maulana, you know what, this thing was really worrying me. I didn't really know whether it's from Medina Sharif. I just took it for granted. Now you asked me, I thought it must be from Medina Sharif. But now when you asked me, so now I went to find out from my supplier, and that rutab is not from Medina Sharif. So if you wish, I will come and fetch it and refund your money. Because I told you it's from Medina Sharif. So this is Tajirus Saduqul Amin. Tajirus Saduqul Amin. So the Tajirus Saduqul Amin ma'an nabiyyin was siddiqeen was shuhada. He will be in the ranks of the Anbiya alayhimus salam. He will be in the ranks of the truthful ones. And he will be in the ranks of the shuhada, of the martyrs. And a person who is pious, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says with regards to him, Minan nabiyyin was siddiqeen was shuhada was salihin. He will be with the Anbiya alayhimus salam, with the siddiqeen, the truthful ones. He will be with the shuhada, the martyrs, and he will be with the salihin, with the pious ones. So what happened to this bichara tajir? Why he only got 3? He only got nabiyyin was siddiqeen was shuhada. He didn't get salihin. And the other side, the person got nabiyyin, siddiqeen, shuhada and salihin. So what happened to this tajir now? Why he didn't get salihin? So Hazrat explained that tajir, that businessman who is saduq and amin, that means he is truthful and he got amanatdari, then he is already salihin. Now how he is going to be with this? He is already salihin. If he is saduq and amin, he is already salihin. So the other people whom we are saying they will be with the salihin, so they will be with the saduq amin tajir. So you must never have hakarat and feel, oh, it is businessman, man. Therefore he is doing deliveries here. Everyone is earning a risk. Now we must look at that risk. You see, we must look at everything with an eye of the akhirat. Don't only look with an eye of the world. Now if Allah Pak gave us a way to earn our risk, He gave us one way to earn our risk. Now we look at that way and we say, no man. This here now, in Gujarati they say, pampa maring. Yeah, I'm wasting my time here, man. I need to be a corporate man. I need to be in office there with a suit, behind one desk. Yeah, I'm sitting here now, I'm doing this task here. Allah Pak didn't say that if you are a tajir who's selling silk, then only you can be Saduq and Ameen and you'll be with the Anbiya and the Siddiqeen and the Shuhada. Allah Pak didn't say that. That lady who's sitting on the side of the road and selling her apples and bananas, if she got Iman and if she is Saduq and Ameen, then she will also fall in that category. That person who is selling sardine on the side of the road, but he is Saduq and Ameen, he will also be there. That person who is selling his midis, he's selling eggs, whatever it may be. Whatever the person is doing, any type of business, provided he is Saduq and Ameen, then he has got the glad tidings that he will be with the Anbiya, with the Siddiqeen and Shuhada. So when we go to work in the morning, we must go to work with a mission. What is my mission? That I'm going to work in such a way that when I pass away, I must be with the Anbiya, the Siddiqeen and the Shuhada. Not only I am working, so now I must pull out the new this thing, and I'm working so I can fly to London, and I'm working so I can do this, and I'm working so everybody must see now I made it, I'm the Lani. It's not about that. It's about how this job of mine can become a work of deen. How this job of mine can become my salvation in the Akhirat. That is what it is about. So you go to work with that mindset. Now it brings a whole different flavor to work. Now how we treat the staff member, how we treat the client, how we buy our goods. Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did a lot of trade. That's how he got married to Hazrat Khadija radiyallahu ta'ala anha. But it is mentioned, the people, the Sahaba, at that time they were not Sahaba, later on they accepted Islam. They say Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in all his days of business, he never argued with anybody. He never argued. Hanker with price, fight for 5 cents and 10 cents. I don't know what has happened to our businessmen. A person will come to sell something, that bichara he is trying to earn a little bit of risk. We are sitting pretty. We got a nice shop, everything. If he has to make 10 cents more on the item, we can't digest that. We can't digest it. We must sit. Sometime, I don't know whether on the boat, these boats that go out deep sea fishing for game fish. They have a fighting seat to fight the fish. Sometime our tajirs have become that seat of theirs in the office is a fighting seat. That every rep, every company, we must suck their blood right to the bone. They mustn't make money. Some builder we call, ask him for a quotation. No, we must drop him down, cut him fine to the bone. And then now that bichara, he wants the job. So he say, right, never mind. Now in his mind he's calculating, I'm supposed to mix 3 bags cement to one, so I don't know what the ratio is about building, but if it is now 3 sand to 1 cement or whatever, so now he's calculating, now I cut this fellow so much, so now I'll put 2 cement and 1 sand. Then when that building is not right, then we want to squeal. A person came, he's going to do a job, let him be happy. Let him be happy when he finishes the job. We're not going to get poor. We won't get poor. The staff member is working, paying his due. We won't get poor. Allah will give barakat. So this tajir who is Saduq and Ameen will be with Nabiyyin, Siddiqeen and Shuhada. So Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he worked as a shepherd, tending sheep, and he got wages for that. Now we today, we consider that as something below us to tend to sheep. I mean, who will want to take a job tending sheep? It don't mean you must go and start tending sheep now. What I'm saying is, even if it meant doing that to earn a rosy, later on when Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam learnt trade and he was taking goods, import, export, then he wasn't tending sheep. If Allah Pak opened that road, then he didn't go now to tend the sheep. Then he did that business. But if that business is not available, then that doesn't mean we mustn't do nothing. Whatever we can do, in whichever little way we can do, a person must learn to earn his rizq. Use his hands and earn his rozi. Whatever means he has, earn his rozi. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him barakat in that. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, once, this is a famous incident, you hear it all the time, that one person did some deal with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and then he was still owing Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam something. So he told Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that I'm going to bring it for you now, wait for me. So he went now to his house. When he went to his house, he forgot about it, totally forgot about it. 3 days later, he is walking past the same place, he sees Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is there. The only thing, now he came, he's totally embarrassed and he's feeling very bad about what he did. So he's apologizing to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam only told him that you kept me waiting here for 3 days. That's all. Nothing else. He didn't say anything else. We would have filed a lawsuit by then. We would have sued the person for admin costs and don't know what and what, loss of earnings and so many different things. The person kept us waiting 3 days. But Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam just told him that it is, you kept me waiting here for 3 days. 3 days I waited here for you. So this was Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam's akhlaq. And you see how that akhlaq worked when Ma Khadija radiyallahu ta'ala anha now saw this akhlaq of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, she proposed for him. She was the wealthiest widow in Makkah Sharif. So many nobles, chiefs wanted to marry her, local and abroad. She kept on refusing. Here she sees a young man, she don't know he's going to be the Nabi of Allah Ta'ala, but his character, his honesty, his way, his modesty. She said no, she will propose for Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now see how Allah Pak works. Hazrat Khadija radiyallahu ta'ala anha, extremely wealthy. Allah Ta'ala knows she only got 10 years more to live. After Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam becomes a Nabi. At this time now when she's getting married to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is still 25. So you count 15 years here before Nubuwwat. After Nubuwwat she's only going to have 10 years to live. So this 25 years she is going to have with Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but only 10 years in Nubuwwat. 15 years is not in Nubuwwat. 10 years in Nubuwwat. Her entire wealth, she makes it available to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the spread of the deen of Allah Ta'ala. So where she got married, how she got married, akhlaq, honesty. What was Allah Pak's plan? That this wealth of this extremely wealthy widow must be the first wealth that is going to be used for the khidmat of the deen, for the upliftment of the deen of Allah Ta'ala. How Allah Pak accepted her wealth. When we get an opportunity to spend for deen, then we're not doing deen a favor. That is a sign that Allah Pak accepted our wealth for that deeni cause. We're not doing deen a favor by putting our money there. Allah Pak will choose who He wants to choose to service His deen. So imagine how Allah Pak chose her wealth. Hazrat Khadija radiyallahu ta'ala anha. So khair Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam did this tijarat. But Hazrat Maulana Yaqub Sahab, he explains here the wisdom behind herding sheep. Because many Anbiya alayhimus salam, in fact most Anbiya alayhimus salam, all herded sheep. And not cattle or camels or anything. Sheep. So they give different reasons for this, different wisdoms the ulama have explained. One is, you see a sheep naturally is a humble animal. Sheep naturally is a very humble animal. And the work that a person does has an effect on him. You get a person who is, in the high-powered seat. So after he starts talking like that too. His walk and talk and everything, his manner and everything becomes like that. Very few people who are high up there can be humble. Very few people who hold those heavy seats can be humble people. You get some of them. There was one banker from Pakistan. He's managing every day now so much of money. But you see him when he comes to meet Hazrat, like a little baby. No airs, nothing. You never think this man is a banker. So you get some people, but generally we're talking about. The jeweler is not humble. A jeweler, a person who's working with gold, he's not humble. He generally got some, he deals with gold, he's not selling coal. And you go to the person who's selling coal, so he bichara will be dirty, in his overalls, he'll be selling, he's more a humble person. So the type of work a person does has an effect on the person. So sheep, because of their humbleness, obviously you can't say, but they got this, they are like, docile type of creature. So the person who herds them also gets those sifat. 1. 2, sheep are such that they're very weak. They're very weak. When sheep were brought to the States initially, it was a very major battle to get them to live there. Because the sheep, if you're trying to make it walk, in those days from the railways, from the rails now, they're trying to make that sheep walk and go somewhere. A sheep, when it loses hope, he sit down and die, finish. He can't carry on, he sit down and die. So it's weak nature, so the shepherd has to always be caring, has to always encourage the sheep, has to always, spur them on, be good to them. So the Anbiya alayhimus salam, that is how they treat their ummats. That every ummati is a weak person. I need to look after him. I need to encourage him. I need to carry him forward. And the other thing is, the sheep is always in danger that the wolf is going to attack him. And he doesn't have, he doesn't have a defense against the wolf. Sheep doesn't have a defense against the wolf. In the same way, the ummati of the Nabi is always prone to the attack of shaitan. And if his iman is not built up, then he doesn't have the defenses to fight shaitan. So the Nabi of Allah Ta'ala, his whole, his approach towards his ummat is being built up while he is a shepherd. This is why Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu was salam will conclude on this. Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu was salam, once the sheep, Hazrat Shuaib alayhi salam, sheep he was looking after, so the one sheep ran away. So he ran behind that sheep to catch it. Now he's running, more that sheep is going, and now that sheep is getting hurt, is on the rock, on the thorns. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam is bare feet. He himself is getting hurt and everything. But eventually now the sheep gets tired, so he goes to the sheep. Now Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, he was a Jalali person. But here now he goes to the sheep and he picks the sheep up. And now he is consoling the sheep, and he's saying to the sheep, what's wrong with you? Why you ran like that? Are you going to hurt yourself? What if you broke your leg? Different words of comfort he mentioned to the sheep. So at that moment, the Malaika, they said, now Musa alayhi salam is ready for his nubuwwat. Now he is ready to be informed of his prophethood. So in that compassion, that kindness, and Hazrat Mona Yaqub Sahib, He says, the nation remains unconcerned regarding their own destruction. Hazrat Rahmatullah used to sing that couplet, that the chores have made a big hole in your house and come in and you're still sleeping. Meaning, shaitan and nafs, what they have done to us, they brought TV in our house, they brought music in our house, they brought kuffar fashion in our house, everything. And they're looting all the good that was supposed to be taking place in our house. And we're still quite complacent with, everything is fine. They're saying that rogues, they have made a big hole in your house. They're looting everything and you're still sleeping. You're still sleeping. So he says, the nation remains unconcerned regarding their destruction. Whereas the Anbiya alayhimus salam, on witnessing their bad plight, pine within themselves. They cry within themselves. And Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I am like a person, there is a fire behind me, and all the moths are going towards the fire. But they don't realize that their destruction is there in the fire. And I am trying to stop these moths, but you are overpowering me. You're overpowering me. There are so many moths are going towards the fire. I can't stop each one. I can't save each one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand, give us tawfiq to make amal. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.